Hey everybody, welcome to our weekend check-in video for PSY-45 research methods for Saturday, November 12th. And as I always do, just going to go over a few reminders, clarifications, etc. Anything I think you need to know to stay on top of things. So let's get started. First up here, our most recent discussion on Chapter 12 on the correlational strategy. Most of you did a nice job with that. However, some of you still seem to be confused about the difference between an experiment and a correlational approach. And remember, correlation is not causation. And remember, experiments are all about demonstrating causation, so they're not the same thing. So do be careful to review that, and always be careful to review all the setup information I provide for the discussion, including an example, so you can fashion your own submission after the example I have there, and you won't have as much trouble. Next up here, our next chapter and our last chapter in Unit 4 is Chapter 13 on the descriptive research strategy there. That quiz and discussion will be due next Friday on the 18th there, and don't forget that time differential. The discussion is due at 9 p.m. The quiz is due at 11:59 p.m. Next up here, your literature review paper. The final paper is due this coming Wednesday on November 16th. Remember, you'll find the APA Literature Review module, which has all the information you need to help you write your paper underneath Unit 5 of our course material. So make sure you scroll down past Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and underneath 5 you'll see it. You want to open up the instructions for Component 3. That's the final paper, and at the very top there's a little how-to video which you'll want to watch. It's about 10 minutes. It'll just walk you through in kind of a show-and-tell way. I have screenshots and I narrate and show and tell you what you need to do, so please be careful to watch that. Also beneath that video link you'll see a file link there that has instructions and a checklist for your paper. Do carefully read those instructions there, cover to cover as we say. And you'll find embedded in the instructions links to that online writing lab, the OWL, or the OWL as it's called, of a sample title page, abstract page, and a sample completed literature review paper. It's very helpful. And by the way, that online writing lab, the OWL, is a great site for all things APA regarding style and format, so do check that out. And also review that checklist that I have there too as part of that same file. It's kind of a list of do's and don'ts, things you do want to have in your paper and things you don't want to have in your paper, so do be careful to check that out there. And also don't forget you have a completed sample paper in your Pocket Guide to APA Style. Remember, you access the Pocket Guide through MindTap, so go into MindTap underneath Chapter 15. You should see the links there for the Pocket Guide. And Chapter 9 in the Pocket Guide has a completed sample paper. It's the first sample paper in Chapter 9. It's on birth order. Do check that out. It's always good to have, you know, as many samples as you can find and good models to, again, craft your own submission after, so do check it out. And as you'll find in the instruction file, and as you'll find in the broader instructions in the APA module on our Canvas course page, your paper must be a minimum of 8 pages of literature review content, and that's 8 full pages, not 7 1/4 and not 7 1/2. It's got to be 8 full pages of information you found in your 10 references that speaks to your topic and thesis statement. That's what you should write about. On top of that, you need to have a title page, an abstract page, and a page of references. So it's 11 pages minimum altogether, but 8 pages are the quote meat and potatoes, the really important stuff, your actual literature review. And when you review your information there, make sure you review the scientific literature as you found in your list of 10 references there. Don't write about your life and your lived experiences. It's not about your personal opinions or beliefs or anything like that. It's about what the literature says. So keep in mind the way you should write this is like if you were writing a little mini chapter in a textbook that had a section devoted to your topic and thesis statement. Write it like a textbook, if you will. You know what a textbook is written like there. It presents what the science says, what the research has found. That's what you should basically keep in mind as far as the overall tone of your paper there. So don't have it informal, don't have it conversational. That's just not appropriate for a scientific review of the literature. Don't forget to incorporate any feedback I provided there from your outline. Pardon me. So don't forget to incorporate any feedback there that I gave you from your outline there. So anything to do with your citation formatting or using all of your references, etc. there, make sure you incorporate all that there, especially how you handle quotes there, etc. Also, you know, don't forget that you should say something about each one of your 10 references there. So everything that you have in your list of references, you need to say something about at least one time, and don't cite information you don't have in your list of references. This is a review of the literature as found in your list of 10 references. And if you need to change your references, if you need to add more to what you've got, that's totally fine. That's part of the writing process. You're not married to your original 10. Just make sure that at least 10 are academic peer-reviewed research articles and that they're relevant to your topic and thesis statement, and you're good to go. Don't forget to take a look there at that rubric file you'll find near the bottom of the instructions there on our Canvas course page, so do check that out. It basically will show you where the points are going to end up coming from for various parts or sections of your paper, so it's helpful to take a look at that. And when you submit your paper, you are going to use the submission area dedicated for the final literature review paper. It's right underneath the instructions for part 3. You'll see a section clearly labeled submission for component 3 there, and you're going to upload it there to that platform called Turnitin, which is a plagiarism analysis tool. So definitely make sure that you're careful to paraphrase, that is, put things in your own words. In the instructions in the module on Canvas, I do have a little section there about plagiarism, including links to the library website, but also a PDF of a table in your book there from chapter 4, which shows you an example of what plagiarism looks like and what it doesn't look like, that is proper paraphrasing. So do check out that table. It's in chapter 4 towards the end. There's a little table there on plagiarism, but I also put it in the instruction area on Canvas just to make things easier for you to find it. Also here too, don't forget you have that Writing and Reading Center over there in the library to help you out if you have any issues with just writing in general there. And that's pretty much what I wanted to say about your paper. Next up here is that your fourth exam is coming up, not this coming week, but the following week on Monday through Wednesday, November 21st to the 23rd there. Don't forget your mind tap will be due on Sunday the 20th before the exam opens up there on Monday. You will get a reminder announcement about that as you always do, but just keep that in mind there. And definitely keep on working ahead. Get all your things done there as much as you can. And we will have our live session on Monday at 11 a.m. So maybe I'll see you there. If you got any questions, it's basically open office hours. And that's all I had to say for this time. So I hope you're having a good weekend. Good luck on writing your paper there. And if you need anything in the meantime, reach out via email on Canvas. And I'll see you in those lecture videos in the meantime. All right. Take care until then. Bye-bye.